This is Mary Me Weddings. Thank you for coming to the channel. This is going to be a video on how to set up your The Knot account if you're going to be doing a wedding website or utilizing any of their RSVP items on their website, or even using their invitations. You will need to create an account. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to set up your The Knot account and also create your wedding website. These will be the first steps in getting ready for your wedding and your special events, as well as preparing for any checklists and invitations in the videos to come. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribing to the channel will keep you updated and give you a nice place to reference to for all of your wedding needs. All right, so we're going to go to theknot.com. That's K-N-O-T. We're going to go ahead and enter our email address and password that you're going to use for your sign up, so that you can create your account. This is the first step in getting your account set up. So it's going to ask a few beginning questions to tell us about yourself so we can customize your planning experience. This is where you'll enter your names. You can enter your full names. Some people choose to put their first name and their initial, but it is helpful to have the first and last name, because this is kind of part of your account and it helps in some of your searches. You can also skip this step if you'd like to move on to the next question. And there are 5 steps in the initial questions. When did the two of you get engaged? You can go ahead and add that. Of course, you can go ahead and skip this step as well. I'm going to go ahead and add this in there so that we have it as reference and you can kind of see how the setup goes. You can go ahead and add in your date. And we'll go ahead and save and hit next. Do you know your venue? Some people know their venue before they've even started setting up their wedding website or starting to get their account. At this point, we don't really have a venue chosen, so we're going to go ahead and click next. Of course, you can skip that step as well. And do you have a city and season in mind? You may not have a city chosen, but you can do a season if you kind of have a time frame as to when it's going to be. It kind of helps people if they do come across your wedding website as an idea of when your event will be taking place. Do you know your estimated guest count and total budget? This may be something that you've discussed already. You can certainly skip this step. Typically, the weddings are somewhere between 50 and 100 people. That tends to be the average. And then for about 50 people is typically about $15,000 is the average. So we're going to put us in kind of in that average budget, 15 to 20,000 for our number of people, 100 to 150. Of course, you can skip this step, or you can go ahead and enter that information and hit next. So the last kind of step that you have here after you've answered all the 5 questions is The Knot does have a couple of items on here that give you some offers. Maybe it's some 4 hours of photography, depending on the photographer and their participation. Some of the other offers that are on there, I'm not sure if those offers are available later, so it's good to know. Go ahead and choose any of those if you're interested in those. And now you've created your The Knot account. So congratulations, you're engaged. Your wedding is going to be awesome. We'll get you there bit by bit in 6 areas. So there are 6 areas here. That includes the reception venue, announcements, vendors, registry, invitations, and any other details related to the special event. Wedding, whether it's a destination wedding, one just around the corner in your neighborhood, or maybe it's a multi-event wedding. All right, let's go. So now we've created our account. You can see all the different sections on here. It has our name at the top, says Welcome Elle and Eric. There are venues and vendors. There's a lot of different lists here. We also have a lot of topics at the very top, but you can see that we've got some venues that we can choose from and explore. Vendors on the right-hand side. Obviously, save the dates to announce your special event. Creating the wedding website, which is what we're going to be talking about in this video today. There's also the registry details that we can do as far as place cards, mainly like day of events that you can order to make your special event even more coordinated with your theme, your wedding website, and your invitations to make sure that all of your paper products coordinate. This also has a section in here about your wedding. It has your checklist that you can click on rather quickly, your style. You can do a style quiz, your budget that you had entered, and you can change any of these at any time, the amount of guests that you have created. This section is really like a quick reference area that you can click on your style or your guests and RSVPs or your budget, and specifically checking in with your checklist to see if you're on time with all of your to-dos for your special event. All right, so let's go ahead and do the style quiz. That'll kind of give us an idea of where we want to have our event. Are you hosting your ceremony in a religious setting? You can do church, synagogue, temple, mosque, other. I'm not getting married in a religious setting. This would be like if you're having an outdoor wedding, you're having it at a beach. Other would also be part of the beach setting. It could be a different kind of religious ceremony, or it could be a different setting, such as these images that are here. You can see there's a mountain wedding. Some of these are in front of a castle. They're on the beach, inside a greenhouse, like a conservatory, an outdoor chapel. Lots of different options here. Lots of barns that have venues, or even just on a beautiful bluff that you can have your event. So let's go ahead back to the Take the Style quiz and see what the options are if you do choose a church. Here you can see some of the images are very similar. Some of them are like in a theater, in a restaurant, ballroom, hotel ballroom as well. Even inside a museum, there's lots of large areas in a museum that would be beautiful to have a wedding as well. So you can play around with the style button just to kind of see if it comes up with different topics. There are more questions as you go along after choosing a reception. You do need to choose 4 out of the images that are there in order to move forward in the quiz. So I've picked my 4 items. The next one is table settings. So you can choose any one of the table settings that are here. There's modern, there's lace, there's rustic. There's quite a variety of different ones here. And of course, you can choose as many as you want to. And this really is just a topic or small quiz to just kind of help you to make some decisions as to what your style is going to be. It kind of can get the thought process going as far as how you want the wedding to look, what your style you want it to be, as well as how you want your table set up, what your flowers are. These are just some topics to help you have an idea of how you want your wedding to be and if you have a theme, what you want that theme to be. So after you do your table settings, the next question is for your flowers. Cascading flowers, you can have just a bouquet. Sometimes when you do a bouquet, is it going to have ribbons on it? Will it be hand wrapped? These are all different topics that go along with your wedding, not just the style of how the flowers are arranged, but also what flowers you're going to choose. Peonies, roses, lots of these different flowers are very popular. Peonies is one of my favorites over here, so of course I'm probably going to pick a couple of those. Those seem to be very popular for weddings. But cascading and then the hand wrapped, I think, are very nice. But it just depends on your style and how you want to carry your flowers. And then also the bouquets that you want your bridal party to carry as well. Now, after you choose your flowers, the decorations for your desserts, the main attraction besides the couple is the cake. And we all love to see what the cake is going to look like. This can be part of your theme, or it can be just a different style. A lot of times the groom's cake is totally different from anything for the wedding as far as a theme. So you can choose a lot of different things for your wedding, but these are just to help get you started and having an idea of how you want things to be set up. You can have cupcakes. Some people do the donuts, like a donut cake. I like the macaroons. I love the colors and the rainbowish style that they have on the table there. It's really pretty. So it gives you some ideas of how you would like your wedding to be and what things you'd like to have at your event. So after choosing the style quiz, what the Knot website has kind of come up with is my style is a little more on the rustic side. I do like things a little bit more, not necessarily rustic, but I like things that are outdoors, more organic. So your style may be different than mine as we're doing this. But again, this is just to help you get an idea of what direction you want to go in. With it being rustic, it's going to give me some different topics as far as the wedding website, what our invitations could look like, keeping track of your favorites, ceremonies, my ideas, and reception, and also for flowers. You can also come down here all the way down to the bottom and retake the quiz if you'd like to have a little different idea about what your style is. So maybe that isn't the style that you wanted. You can go ahead and retake the quiz and have a few more different ideas for how you would like your wedding to look. So you could go up here to the profile. When you go in the profile, this is where your names, your event, your engagement date, your wedding date, the city and state, your guest count, as well as your budget. And this is also where you can have your email preferences for your account. Let's go ahead and go back to the home page. And you can see at the top there's a lot of different topics: planning tools, vendors, wedding website, invitations, registry, all pretty much the same topics that are down here in more of a picturesque and broken down into smaller pieces. For instance, for the venues, start your guest list. That's really important for your venue as to how many people you're going to be having, because it will be per person. Your announcements to announce your save the date for the date of your special event. The guest lists are really important because if you're going to be doing RSVPs online, this is a really convenient place for most people to go ahead and RSVP because they can do it straight from their phone or from their computer. You don't have to worry about any of the cards getting misplaced on their way to their destination or in receiving them from the guests or them losing the card altogether. So there is a checklist in the Knot website that will help you with all the different topics in keeping you on task all the way to the day of your event. So it'll have kind of a roundabout estimate as to when each one of these items should be done. And these are just references just to keep you on task. It isn't necessarily something that has to be done. It's just kind of a guide. So don't fret over some of these dates if you're in the planning stage and maybe those dates have already gone and passed. You can always catch up. Don't worry about those dates. You can also change some of those dates and even change the title of some of those as well. You can do that under View Details that you see on the right-hand side that's in blue. And you can also remove some of them so that you don't have to have all of those different tasks on your checklist, especially if they're ones that you're not going to be doing. It kind of removes a lot of the extra items on there that you're trying to bypass and make sure that I'm kind of one of those people that has to cross my T's and dot all my I's. So I would probably go in here and remove a lot of the different ones that I'm not going to be using. But this is your event, this is your website, and this is your checklist. So you can kind of create it just the way that you want to with all of the different details that you need to stay on task all the way up until your special event. Okay, so wedding website, that's what we're going to be, that's our other topic, not just setting up our account today, but also getting your website started. From the checklist, you can start your wedding website from this area. You would just click on there and go ahead and start. You can mark it as done. And you can click on the link that takes you straight to your design. This, you can choose your style, color, and theme. You would go ahead, you can also start from wedding website, the tab at the top, and then also clicking on start your website at the top. You can also browse the wedding designs as well before starting your website. So there are a lot. So it's good to have kind of an idea of where you're going. That's kind of the purpose of the style quiz. Gives you some ideas of where to start. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's where you need to stay for your theme or your website design, but it definitely gives you an idea because there are so many to sift through. And we're going to go ahead and choose a theme. We're going to start with the season because it's in the spring. Now, if you do choose a season, it may kind of give you some of the themes that are more spring-like and more flowers. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you have to settle with. If you have more of a style that's more rustic, you can have some barns or mountainous themes in the background that are added to your wedding website. And there's also matching invitations for every single one of the websites. Every website on the Knot does have a matching invitation. So just how you would search a document for certain words in the document or even on a website, you can go ahead and search the themes as well. And you can kind of see in the upper right hand corner at the very top, I have my search bar that's just part of my computer doing the search. You go ahead and I think it's Control F for find. And you can go ahead and start typing in star or celestial. Celestial is one that's going to give you a more sort of star theme in the background. If you put in mountains or rustic, that's going to give you the names that are inside each one of these. Rustic greenery. So we'll go ahead and click on one of the themes. We're going to start with this design. We're going to start with the rustic greenery in blue, because I like blue. And it already has our names there. Now this is where your wedding website is going to be. It's going to be theknot.com / and then currently it has Eric found L. It's really important when you can edit this link if you'd like. You can also personalize your domain or edit it later. You can change it. I'm going to put in Eric Loves L. And this checkbox here where it says appear in search engine results. If you're not ready for your website to be searched on Google or show up in web browser searches, I would uncheck this box. You can always check it, kind of add it later. And I'm going to show you where you can add it to your search engines later. But you can go ahead and uncheck this box if you'd prefer that your wedding website be a little bit more private. It is searchable in the Knot. If you go to the Knot couples registry, see Eric Loves L. So I tried to create my wedding website with that and it was not available. So I added the 2025 at the end there. You can easily edit this in later for your wedding date and city. So I do have a wedding date that I've added in there, but I don't think I want my wedding date on there because I'm not quite sure because I haven't made the reservations or the confirmations with the venue or the reception areas. So I'm just going to keep my season in there. You can do a multi-date is another one that you can add in there. You can do it now or you can do it later. We're going to keep our season in there with the year and save. So this takes you to your managing website page. If you went up to the wedding website at the very top, it'll give you an option for manage website, and this is the page it'll bring you to. You can always change or edit the wedding website link that you have there if you don't want it to be like for mine, Eric Loves L 2025. You can change it. You can change when you click on the edit, it'll take you to this little window over on the right hand side. If you wanted to add more privacy to your wedding website, you can also add a password. All of your guests would need this password in order to get to your wedding website and also to RSVP. You can add add a password on here. A lot of times in the invitation when you send to your guests, that's where you will include this password on your invitation. So we have the password set on there. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. If you do turn it off, it'll reset it. So you'll have to re-enter a new password again. And if you forget what the password is, you just go to this page for your settings and on the Manage website, click on the edit, the little pencil over there will bring up this window on the right hand side, and then you can always see what the password is. Now, as far as appearing in search engines, this is the other area at the very top where I said that you could go ahead and add yourself to search engines. If you decide you want to deactivate your account, you can always deactivate your account from this window as well. So you can see we've gone ahead and set up our wedding website. These are the different pages or tabs that you can have on your wedding website. The Our Story, photos. You can have your wedding party along with pictures of each one of your wedding party attendees. So you could have all of your maid of honor and your bridesmaids, the groomsmen, and the best man. You can always have some question and answers for your guests, just in case they have some typical questions as where do I park when I get to the church? Where do I park when I get to the reception? Is there a place to park? What is the, if the event is outside, what is the alternative if the wedding is not going to be outside due to weather? Now here you can do your online RSVP. And we'll go ahead and click on preview at the very top. And this allows us to see what our wedding website looks like. Now, we haven't added any pictures, but we do have the artwork on the right and on the left. Our name is at the top. It also has the spring 2025 instead of the date. So if you did have your date on there, that is where it's going to be. You can also have a countdown so that you yourself, as well as your guests, know that how close the event is around the corner. Okay, so to get to your wedding website, click on Wedding Website at the top, click on Manage Your Website. That will continually take you to this page so that you can make edits to the tabs on your wedding website. If you'd like to change the countdown or remove the countdown, really remove it, from your wedding website, you can do so from this area here. You'll click on the pencil next to your name and you will click on exact date. So when you click on exact date, you see that there is the tab for display countdown on homepage. So it isn't under the season and year, even though we have the season and year posted. You'll click on the exact date and then you can go down and uncheck the display countdown on the home page. If we click on that, I think I left the date on there. Yeah, I did. So let's click on the preview and see what it says. So yeah, the date is on there now. I'll have to go back and fix that. But it did remove the countdown. So that is the way to remove the countdown from your wedding website. So let's go back and change my date so that it just has the season and year. So go back and check season and year and hit save, and we can go back up and click on preview so that we can view what our wedding website looks like. And it is back to spring 2025, and it no longer has the countdown because I really don't want anybody knowing the exact date yet. So I'm not ready for the countdown to be on there. Now each one of these tabs, of course it says coming soon, but these are all the different tabs that you can have on your wedding website. You can also hide these if you prefer those to not be on there. The registry is one item. This may be a little confusing presently because the registry is showing this kind of tab on here for the, and it may be a little misleading because it says reset filters and you haven't really even added anything to your registry. So let's go go do something to the registry to fix that until you're ready to have your registry showing on your wedding website. So let's exit the preview. And when we scroll down here and we go to the all-in-one registry, you can see like for the things to do, if you go to these vertical dots, if you click on those, you can hide the page. And for the all-in-one registry, currently it does not have the vertical dots, nor does the online RSVP, because those have not been set up. So let's click on the registry and kind of set this up. Whether you're having one or not, this will just help you to remove that registry tab, at least for now, and you can always put it back on there. So welcome to your registry. What can we help you with? Adding gifts that fit your style, syncing gifts from other stores, creating cash funds, which is a very popular thing to have on your wedding website, and I'm not sure yet. So you may at this point be not sure yet, or you may be certain that you definitely want to have at least cash funds where guests that would prefer to give you a cash gift towards your honeymoon or a new house, or maybe some of the excursions that you could be going on your honeymoon to help pay for those items. Sounds good. We'll get everything organized so you can manage all your gifts all in one place. First, have you already started a registry at another store? This is seeing if you have set up a registry at another retailer, say as Williams-Sonoma, Crate & Barrel. Any of those registries can be linked. If you're not ready for that, you can just hit no, not yet. Okay, we can help you find the best gifts for you to get and guests to give. So you can just click on one of those for travel, because you may be going on a travel, whether it's local or it is at a faraway destination. And we can go ahead and click through these to get you started with the Not Registry store. Now, you may not be ready to add all of these items, but again, this is just to help you to remove that or to hide your registry tab from your wedding website if you're not ready for people to purchase things on your wedding website. But since it's not allowing us to hide it, this is the way to do that. So you can browse registry essentials, unique gifts, and more. Pin top choices so guests can easily find your favorites. You can also enjoy free shipping. The Knot offers free shipping and easy returns. And then there is a 20% post discount for after the wedding. And we'll discuss that in a registry video. So these are some of the different items that you can kind of add. We are kind of looking to add our cash funds. You can also do any of the non-physical items like gift cards. You can add to your registry if you don't want any physical items. The non-physical items like excursions and gift cards will be sent straight to your email after the guest has purchased them. They will not be sent to you in the mail, nor will your guest receive them in the mail. They will be sent digitally to your email. Okay, so let's go ahead and skip adding the gifts because we just want to add just really one item so that it gets us to the point where we can hide our registry. So let's choose some gifts. We can either hit next or we can dismiss it. We're going to go ahead and dismiss it. I'm looking to add a cash fund to the registry. So go ahead and scroll all the way down to where it says create a cash fund. And you go ahead and click get started. You can add a custom one with your own photo, or you can choose any of the ones that are already pre-made. The guests can choose how much money they can gift, so they can gift any amount. It can be a round up number like $100, or it could be $99. If you you can do a goal if you'd like, so that your guests know if you're close to achieving that goal. If you do a fixed amount and you have, say you do $500 as a fixed amount, your guests will not be able to continue to contribute to that specific item. So just be aware of that if you do choose a fixed amount. You can change the name of your fund. This one is a honeymoon fund. Of course, you can change that. You can also add a little bit of note. Maybe you already know where you're going to go on a honeymoon. So you could kind of describe what is going to be paid for or what the funds will be going towards as part of your honeymoon. All right, so let's go ahead and add that to our registry. And you can link a bank account to your account. So the cash fund is not going to show on your registry until you have linked a bank account to it. It is suggested it's a checking account. Savings accounts tend not to work very well. So a checking account is preferable when you do link a bank account. But if you're not ready, you can always link it later under your registry settings. You'll click on registry at the top and then go to registry settings. So we're going to go over to our wedding website, manage your website, and then scroll down to the registry section. And you can see now we have the 3 vertical dots on the right hand side. We only have one fund that's been in there. You can preview. So it's still not going to show up on here, but you can see this box is still here, this white box. And the reset filters can be a little confusing for guests if you're not ready for if your registry is not ready for guests to be purchasing from. So we're going to go back, exit the preview, and scroll back down to the registry section. We'll click on those vertical 3 dots so that we can hide. Even though we do have a cash fund that we've added, there's just one thing on there. And until we add our bank account, that won't show up. But now we can hide the page or the tab. You can always turn it back on by clicking Show Page, and it'll show the registry. So let's go ahead and click Preview. And you can see the registry tab is not showing. I think I need to refresh this page. You can see the tab isn't there. Let's click Preview again. Yeah, I'm going to refresh my page. I don't know why that. Let's click on Home. And you can see the registry tab is no longer showing on here. So you can leave it like this if you are not going to have a registry on your wedding website, or once you have your registry ready, and you can continue to add items on there without the registry being visible. But you can always go back to the wedding website, manage your website, and click on the registry section and click on those vertical tabs so that you can show the page again, and that tab for the registry will show again. So when you go back to the wedding manager website, you can add a cover photo. It could be possibly one of your photos for your from your engagement. You can change your themes. Over here, you can do the same thing. You can change your themes. You can use your search where you do Command F or Control F so that you can have your little search bar that you can see up there in the top right-hand corner. And you can search all of those themes. That way you can change any of them. You can search by barn, you can search by rustic, even by the color if you'd like to. You can do it that way. And then you can go through the arrow. It'll sift through all of them as you go through each one of those. Like for mountain, there's 9 different matches. And you just keep clicking on the arrow. It'll take you to each one of those that has mountain. It'll be highlighted in yellow. So under your browse themes, you can also change the color. And you have invitations, a wedding suite that also matches. Now with not all of their items, their envelopes, their liners, invitations, enclosure cards, RSVPs, as well as the envelopes are all sold individually. They're all sold a la carte. They are not sold as a suite, so that you can kind of mix and match some of them for your event. So maybe you have your bridal event is going to be different than the wedding itself, or maybe the reception is just going to be a different kind of theme than the actual ceremony. You can kind of mix and match them. You can also change the color of your theme. Under our rustic greenery, we're currently in blue. But you can, and you can see that the flowers have the blue colors here on the right and on the left-hand side. If we go back to our exit preview and go over to the colors for our current wedding website theme, you can change these colors to possibly the red. And we can go ahead and preview what that looks like. And you can see it does change the color a little bit. It's got a little bit more red on the right and the left-hand side for the flowers. There's also a yellow color that changes the colors to yellow. And then if you choose the pink color, it gives a black background with a different colored flowers. There's a little bit of yellow. It has more of a yellow color with the black background. So another option that you have here when you're in the preview, this particular one with our black background, if you go up to the top of this window, you can see what your wedding website will look like on a desktop or laptop. So you see what this image is going to look like. If you go back up there, you can click on the phone image, and this is what your website is going to look like when people look at it from a mobile device, whether it's on an iPhone or Android or other type of mobile device that your guests may have. You can also click on the envelope that's there. This will show you the matching or coordinating invitations, wedding suite. There's envelopes, liners, all the different ones that you can choose. We'll go ahead and click on the blue, changing our wedding website back to my favorite color, blue. And you can see the change in the wedding website from desktop to mobile device. And then also the invitations, the color has changed, as well as like the liner. So this is a liner for the envelope, the blue that you see back there. That is not the inside of the envelope. So that is sold separately. So there's envelopes, there are liners for the envelopes. You have the invitations here. You have the enclosure cards, which is the wedding details card that you see here, as well as the RSVP card. You can order samples of invitations and save the dates. When you do choose, you can use the promotion code. There tends to be a promotion code to get 3 free stationery samples that match your wedding website. They don't necessarily have to match your wedding website. You can choose 3 different ones to kind of help you decide what your wedding website design will actually be. If you'd like them to coordinate with your wedding website, there's this code here, which is 3 free. You can also find this on the Knott's promotion page for their different promotions that includes the 3 free stationery. So if you're going to order a sample, and I think my wedding website, my page here is acting up a little bit. Everything's kind of overlapping, but I apologize for that. But if you want to order a sample of this invitation, and this is kind of important, I know it sounds pretty simple, you can go ahead and either personalize or you can order a sample. So if you're ready to order your invitations, go ahead and personalize, and you click this pink button. If you're just wanting to order a sample, be sure to click on order a sample. If you personalize a whole bunch of cards, you're not going to be able to order a sample. They're kind of 2 separate things. Once you order the sample, then you can order 100 of the samples that you like. But you can't go backwards. If you already personalize cards under the personalization, your minimum order is going to be 15. And currently the Knot is not able to allow you to create a sample from your personalized card. So from the beginning, when you're just looking at your different cards and you want to order a sample, be sure to click on the order a sample button that's there. And then once you've if you like any of the samples that you've chosen, then you can order the sample that you like in 50 or 100, depending on your quantity needs for your event. And you can see there's all these corresponding items in here. There's save the dates. You have the liners. Like I said, there's the blue liners to go inside the envelope. And it's just a little adhesive tab, very small. It's very easy to go ahead and insert that, remove the adhesive, and stick that into the envelope. You have rehearsal dinner invitations. There's also place cards, table numbers, thank you cards, a lot of coordinating items, as well as programs and even menus that you can personalize for your event. There are 3 different paper options for most of the items in the wedding suite, and that is the standard paper. There's also the recycled paper, and then there is the pearlescent paper. Well, that wraps up our overview of how to set up your The Knot account and get you started with your wedding website on The Knot. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit subscribe and the like button. And I'll be posting more videos on how-tos to help you prepare for your special day. Thank you for coming to Marry Me Weddings. We'll see you in the next one.